Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker saying the state's growing and dismissing questions about how we're losing people under the age of 18 faster than any other state in the nation. And we're losing working age people between 19 and 64 among the fastest of all the states. It's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and wake up with us each and every weekday morning. Republicans call Governor Pritzker a population denier. Now, the state has every year for the past 11 years, except for one, lost population, according to U.S. Census estimates. Now, of course, the decennial census every 10 years is done in order to appropriate the congressional delegations across the country so that the congressional delegation is split among equal parts all across the country. And then states get to draw their maps, right? We talked a little bit about this last segment where Governor Pritzker announcing a third term for office. He has a lot to, stack on his achievements list, right? And one of those could be, I don't think he's going to talk about it, but signing Illinois' legislative boundaries and congressional boundaries, which civic organizations is called failing, a F grade. Anyways, so back to the the reapportionment, the population. That's why it's important to take that into consideration. So the census does their thing, right? They count people, then they put out the official numbers in 2020, and then legislatures go and draw their maps after that for the 10 years. Illinois keeps losing congressional delegation over the past 20, 30 years. We've lost 3 or 4 seats, 5 seats or so. Just in the past census, we lost 1 seat in Congress, which is an indication that we're losing population. And you look at the decade of decline over 10 years before the 2023 numbers came out, and you see that Illinois is losing population. But the governor insists the state's growing. Now, he did get the census to revise some of the numbers, changed it by a couple of tens of thousands or so. But then the numbers keep coming out that we're losing population. The most recent data this week, released by the U.S. Census, confirmed we gained population last year because of inbound international migrants moving to Illinois. That offset the number of people living in Illinois moving to other states. So we did see population increase for that 1 year, but the 4-year data that was released this week confirms Illinois continues to lose population from 2020, despite a bump in 2023 to 2024. But the data released this week also drills down even further into racial demographics, into age demographics, into gender demographics. We talked about this earlier this week with Ted Dabrowski from WirePoints, delving even further into the data. But the data shows that Illinois is losing people under 18 faster than any other state in the nation. Our reporter, Jim Talamonte from the Center Square, was at the governor's campaign kickoff event for a third term yesterday, and afterwards he was able to pose this question to the governor.
But Governor, young people are still leaving the state. The new census data shows we're losing 18 and under faster than any other state. Is there a policy change you can...
Actually, the latest data shows Illinois gaining population. You ought to look at that. Maybe you're picking
18 and under.
I hear you, but you've got to look at all the data and understand that when you're trying to attract, remember, every state has people who leave and come. The point is to get net improvement in population. And that's something that we proved at the census in 2020 that we were doing. As you may recall, in 2010, every year after 2010, the community survey, the survey that the Census Bureau does every year, which is not a census, was showing that Illinois was losing population. Then we actually counted heads in 2020, and when they did the full post-enumeration survey to determine what the population of Illinois is, we gained 250,000 people in the state, didn't lose people. So we got to keep moving in that direction.
But if you look at the data, we're still losing people over the span of a long time, and it's not necessarily, even if the loss of people is slowing down or reversing or stabilizing, we're still losing people under the age of 18. Faster than any other state. We're still losing working age people 19 to 64. those are the ones that are going to be paying all the taxes. Those are the ones that are, because we don't tax retirement income in the state of Illinois. I've had tax professionals tell me that's actually one very positive thing for Illinois. Businesses like the flat tax in Illinois, and retirees like the no income tax on retirement income in Illinois. But we're seeing increased populations of 64 and up, but the working age, who are the ones that are going to be paying those taxes to support, benefits for people, they're continuing to leave the state. So you've also got the economic aspect of we're losing higher earners and we're only bringing in, lower earners, which is going to impact the economy moving forward. Kathy Salvi, the Republican chairperson for Illinois, she says, listen, this is a big deal. And she says that it's Pritzker's legacy.
And why are people leaving our state at record numbers? We are number one in the state of losing our young, the 18 unders. And for those up to age 65, we have lost hundreds of thousands in the last 4 years of people 65 and under, the working people of Illinois. And why? Because they're taxed out of their homes with their property tax. They're taxed out of their businesses. Businesses are shuttering down around the state. Major corporations and businesses that rely on those have shuttered up and to move to more tax-friendly states. And with them go families and jobs to better climate. So this is the Pritzker legacy. So absolutely, he shouldn't be looking to be rehired. He should be fired. And but on the positive note, I think that any Republican who comes out of the gubernatorial primary will be our next governor. So I've been working toward the Republican Renaissance and ending this blue funk in Illinois since I've become the chair 11 months ago, and I think it's going to happen sooner than I thought.
Salvi also talking about the policies she believes would reverse those trends. It's not magic, she says. She says just look at other states where population's growing and who's running those states and the policies that they've got.
And why are people leaving our state at record numbers? We are number one in the state of losing our young, the 18 unders. The Republican states that people are moving to in droves, we don't have to guess at what will happen in Illinois with a Republican governor and a Republican House and Senate. We just have to look to the other states who have Republican legislators and Republican governors. And I can say without any doubt and hesitation, I'm of the opinion that Governor Pritzker is a bad governor, the worst governor in our nation. To think that he even wants to become the president, save America, save him from J.B. Pritzker. And that says a lot, since we've had a lot of jailed governors in our past. But you look at every single statistic and measurement of success, and Illinois is at the bottom of that. You look at the Republican-run states, and they're run well, fiscally sound, jobs are abundant, and high-paying jobs, too. People are able to live in their homes. And I'd ask anybody listening to this program, just if you are on a salary, look at your paycheck. Just look at what the government takes out of your paycheck every single week or 2 weeks or month that you get your paycheck, and look at what has happened in the state. We have a governor that dismisses ordinary Illinoisans, Republicans, Democrats, non-voters, all men and women. He has a dismissive attitude. He's out of touch with what it is to raise a family. And I know of more and more young people, more and more families that are taking 2 and 3 jobs just to be able to make ends meet, because he just keeps taxing and spending. And you wonder, is there any tomorrow? Well, yes, there will be. Under Republican leadership, you will find responsible control of government and getting government out of the lives of ordinary families. And that's what the difference between a Republican and Democrat. Democrats believe there's a government solution to every crisis or every problem. They even create the crisis in order to find a way to meddle into the affairs of a family and a business. And enough is enough. 8 years of Pritzker, 8 years of this Democrat-controlled House and Senate, enough is enough. So give those Republicans a chance. And I believe that we're going to see this Republican Renaissance sooner than I had hoped. in the 2026 election cycle.
We'll be watching to see if that's the case or not, as we've got more to cover here each and every weekday morning with Illinois in Focus Daily. If you like what you see here, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and share it with your friends, with your family. It's I've been told a solid place to get what's happening at the Illinois State House and staying up to date with concise and consistent reporting. So that's what we strive to do to keep you, the taxpayer, informed. Go to thecentersquare.com, sign up for that newsletter, and follow us on social media. Stay with us here on the Center Square's YouTube page, and stay up to date with Illinois in Focus Daily.